Are you feeling frustrated because you are ambitious? You are learning constantly. You're trying to improve. You're trying to grow. But still you're just not achieving your goals. If so, I know the frustration because for years that used to be me. I used to keep going around and around and around and around in circles, getting nowhere. I was learning. I was getting more knowledge. But unlike what people say, knowledge does not mean power. And where most people go wrong is that there is a disconnect between their learning, the new skills, and achieving the outcome. If you want to achieve more success, you need to have direction and goal-based learning. That's the disconnect. Some time ago I watched a video where someone put this into excellent words. What most people do is just in case learning. An example of this would be, let me learn everything about investing. So I'm gonna watch podcasts, I'm gonna watch tutorials on YouTube, I'm gonna read blogs, I'm gonna read books on this topic. But if you're making minimum wage and you can't even afford your bills, is that useful? Well, no, because one day you might start investing, but right now you don't have the money. So this knowledge over here is completely useless because you are not focused on the right things. So he put that most people should switch to just-in-time learning. So if you're on that minimum wage job, what can you learn right now that's gonna land you a higher paid job? Or what can you do right now to start a side hustle on the side that's gonna earn you a few hundred extra that then you can save and invest? When it comes to learning, the sequence is everything. And the specificity with which you're learning. Because you can learn everything under the sun. And it's great if you ever get on a game show or some trivia night. But other than that, most of that information is useless. Think about everything you learn in school. How much are you applying in real life? Very, very tiny fraction, right? That's the case when you have just-in-case learning. It might be useful one day, but that day might be in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, or it may never actually come. So, when it comes to learning effectively, try using my G.A.P.S framework. G.A.P.S stands for Goal, Action, Problem, Solution. So let me clarify each of those so that you can get started not only learning more, but also achieving more. So, first of all, goal. Before you start learning anything at all, ask yourself, why am I learning this skill? What will it allow me to do? And better yet, start with your goal. So if you want to be financially free, work your way back to what you need to do today. And what skills do you need in order to achieve that goal? In what order? So if you take the financial example where someone is minimum wage over here, wants to be financially free. The first thing is maybe how to do more and bring more value to the job. How to learn a more valuable skill. Another step then, once you have that added value, would be how do I negotiate a better salary? How do I amp up my resume, write more better cover letters so that I can get that higher paid job? How do I maybe start a side hustle in my spare time that's going to add me that bit of extra cash, right? Those are the first skills. And once you have a goal, now you can go specifically on learning that. Then what you do is whether you feel like you're ready or you feel like you're totally unprepared, start taking action. Because this has 3 benefits. Once you take action, you make progress. Mind blowing, right? No, not really, right? You know that action is required to achieve any goal. So just start. You don't need the full 1,587 step plan. You need to start with step 1. And you probably know what that is already, right? If you want to get in better shape, stop buying junk food, start eating better, go outside more, go and exercise, right? Easy things you can do right now. Do the simple things. Do the obvious things first, but get started. The second thing that you will get once you just start taking action is you will learn. I've done another video on how to learn effectively that I'm going to link below this video. But if you just hear me say something, you're going to retain about 5% of information. Once you're doing something, you will learn about like 50 or 60%. I can't remember the exact number. But once you start learning by doing, you retain a ton more information. That's the key point. So just get started. And thirdly, what's going to happen is you're going to get started. You do step 1, you do step 2. But on step 3, you hit a snag. You hit a roadblock. Something doesn't go your way. Now you found the problem. So if this is your route, once you start taking action, at some point over here maybe, you start getting stuck. And now what you're going to do is now you start actually learning through reading articles, through watching videos, through going through a podcast, right? All of these content resources, only now in the 4th step are you going to use them. Because now over here you have a specific problem. So rather than watching 10 hours or 20 hours or 100 hours of content on investing, on business, on anything, now you can just watch the 20-minute tutorial on how do I fix X, Y, and Z problem. So rather than learning everything under the sun, 90% of which is not useful, you hone in on that specific answer to this burning question, the specific solution to a specific problem. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go back with the goal in mind, you're going to take action, and over here you encounter another problem. And you do the same thing. Now you find content, you find mentors, you find books, you find someone that's going to help you solve that problem, and you're going to continue taking action until you reach your goal. And by the time you reach your goal, you start over here, you set a new goal, and you repeat the process. That's how you learn effectively from a specific standpoint. This way you're not getting just general knowledge, which is useless. You get specific knowledge at the right time, in the right sequence, that's going to allow you to go from where you are to where you want to go. That is going to solve 90% of your learning problems. But if you want to skyrocket the rate at which you go through this process, go ahead and watch the video on the right side next to get that formula.